Greetings, friends and followers. This is Nurses Talking. I am Dale Barzi. As always, if you like what you see and hear, subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. Here on Nurses Talking, we speak to nurses anywhere in the world and at any stage in their nursing journey. And today I have the very great pleasure of welcoming Andrea Israel out of Illinois, USA. Andrea is a nurse, of course. She is a certified legal nurse consultant. She's the owner of Empower Legal Nurse Consulting and the co-owner of the Healthcare Asylum podcast, which is a YouTube channel and podcast. So, Andrea, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Dale.
So it's my pleasure to have you. It's my pleasure to have you. But first of all, I'd like to know, why are you a nurse? What brought you here?
What brought me here was I was a CNA first.
Hmm.
Um, Probably back in my 20s. I was 19. Um, Started working at the hospital in Chicago um, as a CNA.
Hmm.
And then we moved back down here to Southern Illinois where my husband's family resided. My family too, but like my grandmother and stuff as a child growing up. And then I went to the local nursing home and was a CNA there for about a year, I think. But just, I guess what motivated me to go back to school was just the way things were operating at that facility. Like the nurses that they did have employed there was kind of frustrating in the way they were nursing and handling things. And I'm like, there's no way I can have these people telling me what to do. There's no way. So that's what prompted me to go to LPN school, which I did. Finished that. I was LPN. I went right into RN school. So,
Hmm. Hmm. So you had a taste of the system before you actually decided to become a nurse.
oh yeah.
And so once you went to school and you became a nurse, and what were the challenges for you?
Let's see. I think the main challenge was going from the CNA to LPN. Not the well, the facility didn't work with me with going to school and stuff, so I had to transfer to midnight shift and then go to school full
Mhm.
time as a LPN. And I had small kids, and I was married, and then pregnant during it also. So that was tough on me, but it
Yes.
was what I wanted to do. So I, you're young, you're unstoppable. I was in my 20s, I could do anything. It's like whatever, okay, I'll do it. I won't have any sleep, but I'll do it because my anatomy and physiology class ended up being like the worst time possible, but I had to do it. So I got through it. But the biggest challenge was when I was done, the DON didn't care for me too much, and she threw me like on the worst unit, the Medicare unit, with all the tube feeders, the heavy treatments, and the charting, because we had to do everything at that time. Paper charting, our
Hmm.
treatments. We had two med passes because at that time I was on evening shift. So that was the most challenging. But looking back now, that's what made me the nurse that I became because it pushed me right out of school to get all this done on my own. So, yeah, I mean, I would get yelled at for not taking a lunch, but my lunch was when I could chart.
Yes, I know.
So you just get a routine going. You start at one end, you got 70 patients because that was, that's how nursing homes are. I mean,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
have a ton of patients. You start on one end, and sorry to say, if somebody at the other end wanted something, you'd get it when I got down there. I
Hmm.
run back and forth with that many patients. Of course, you'd see emergencies, but yeah, just the med pass alone is heavy. You've got a
Yep.
lot to do. So I would say that was the point that really made me a nurse.
Yeah. 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 That kind of thing teaches you the things they don't teach you in school.
Exactly.
In a hurry.
Exactly. It's survival mode. You figure out what to do to get the job done. and
Mm-hmm.
still, be your advocate and do everything the right way. You know, do you take shortcuts on certain things like a stool softener at 5? Do they get it at 3? Yeah. So you learn what to do to get your job done.
Mm-hmm. 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 So is long-term care the only area you work?
No, I worked there for 16 years and they closed back in 2015 because in the interim of that, my husband wanted to start a restaurant up. So I was working nights. That's when I was on midnights, and then I would run the restaurant in the daytime until 3. Then I have to go pick the kids up and come home. So I got about 4 hours of sleep. Then I have to go pick them up from the restaurant, bring them home, and I would go to work. So that was my routine for 5 years we had the restaurant. So
Yep. So you shifted a little bit then and you became a legal nurse consultant.
I became a legal nurse consultant this year. I have been looking in, oh, no, let me finish your other question. So, my husband passed away in 2016, and I think I took a little bit of time off from work, just maybe a few months, of course, for the grieving process. And um, after the nursing home closed down, I went to the hospital because I had a girlfriend. She was a CNA, but when you work in a nursing home, we all become family because we've
Mm-hmm.
been there
Mm-hmm.
so many years. It's just like family, everybody. But she's like, "I'll come over here and get a job." So I'm like, "Okay." So I worked in cardiac cath unit for 6 years. And then after that, that was around the time where COVID happened and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And since I worked in the specialty unit, they had things worked out where because they were just basically taking procedures like slowed down
Yeah.
tremendously, so that the staff, so we a lot of us got unemployment like just because we didn't have to work. Or I would go upstairs and work the med surge unit for overtime even before COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I would end up working up there. But I found it really interesting because you would get those mailers in the mail about going to school to be, and I'm like, wow. But when you looked into it, it was like thousands of dollars. I'm like, ain't there's no way. But I found, I don't know, a place that I could get my certificate. So I just got my legal nurse consultant certificate earlier in this year. Yes. So I'm excited about that, but I'm a little scared. It's a little intimidating because I've got nursing down pat. But the legal side, I just want to be proficient enough, especially with me having my own business about it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, to know that side 100% as well. So right now I'm just working on that too because I've got these other things on the side that I'm doing, and I kind of want to get that off and running as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You being the nurse, and so the now you also have the Asylum Healthcare Asylum podcast. I took a quick look at the at your graphics and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I said to myself when I looked at it, I said, "Yep, this is an asylum thing."
Silent. Yes, that's
So,
actually that's my the host and co-founder. Actually, this was initially his idea
mhm,
um, to do this, just because we kind of left the last job we worked at, two jobs together, and the last job we worked at, some issues there, and so I left happily in my heart to know that it's time. It's
mm,
time.
yeah,
Yeah. And
hmm
I probably should have been left what I was doing, but I've always been the type of nurse to not be able to say no. Like I could work 100 hours and they'll say, Andrea, can you? And I'm like, yeah, so it took me some years to be able to say no, I can't. It, um, so yeah, so we started the healthcare asylum just because of the issues that are, long happening in the healthcare field and healthcare period, and it is an asylum when you look at it in any facility actually. I mean, maybe a private one that people are paying out the wazoo maybe might be a little bit better. I don't know. I've never worked in one of those places, but um, yeah, there's a lot going on. So
Yeah.
he's kind of like he likes the Victorian style, the old. That's kind of his thing. So since this is something that initially was his idea, I'm kind of the nurse supportive, kind of
Yeah.
how we do
Yeah.
flourish and kind of come along. So yeah, but yeah,
I have to say, I was intrigued by the name, and then I saw it, and
uh-huh.
then I saw the other thing I saw that made the whole thing fit for me was the word unfiltered. And I thought, oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Because that's how it's described as, you're supporting all members of the healthcare system, a
right.
healthcare team, and, it's just an unfiltered conversation. And I thought,
Exactly. And that's what we want to hear. We want to hear nurses' journeys, the same thing that you're doing, Dale. You
mm-hmm,
know, um, but there's a lot of workplace violence, and it's increasing against us.
mm-hmm,
And something really needs to be done. Department of Labor, says it's up to 63%. We're like in a crisis with workplace violence against nurses and other frontline healthcare
yeah,
workers.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. And not for nothing, but it comes at you in very many ways. It's both overt and covert.
yes,
And sometimes, and we are kind of like programmed to just take it.
yeah,
Um, that can't be good.
right. And not only the physical, but verbal. We've always been take from families as well as patients, So, yeah. So
Yeah,
we're just
yeah,
building our community up right now. Um,
yeah, yeah. So I have seen in the last several years that there many changes have come along in nursing.
mhm.
What do you think you see when you look ahead? Because you know what? It's been blowing up. I mean, so many things, our entrepreneurs are getting into so many spaces and all of these innovations and all of the things that I have to tell you, when I became a nurse, I didn't even didn't even cross my mind. Didn't even think that, as a nurse, I could be here. And nurses can be anywhere. We are everywhere.
Right. Yes, but at the time when you're like doing it, you're like into like one of the nurses we interviewed, she loves what she does, and that's good, you know. Um I just feel like there's more out there that I can be doing that's not at bedside, you know.
Yes,
I've I've done my part for bedside, and now I want to bring awareness um, to other parts of
of
nursing.
nursing. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Um, and to make people see us differently.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
tired of us being portrayed in the media and wherever else as somebody's handmaiden, which we're not.
Right. We're not at all.
So, what advice do you think you'd give to somebody who wants to be a nurse?
I, don't- my daughter, she's an LPN now. She just got her license. My other daughter works at a facility, but she's just a team lead. She doesn't want to be a nurse.
Okay. Hmm.
But I would like for my daughter to go to RN school, but I don't want her to stop as a registered nurse. So I guess that would be my thing. I would tell to not stop at being a nurse, to find something that you love to do and go as far as you can with it. Of course, I would love for people to work for themselves first
Mm-hmm.
until things change. Unless you are like an anesthesiologist, something where you're making money and you love what you do. Um, and things change in nursing, I don't know if I'd go back and do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Mm-hmm.
keep going with my education.
Mm-hmm. 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 I get you. I get that. I get that. A little while ago, you talked about being the person who always said yes, and you could work 100 hours and all of that. So I have to ask you, now, what does having come through all of that, what does self-care mean to you? And what do you do to take care of you?
Self care now is me taking care of myself every day, all day. Sometimes too much, Dale. Sometimes too much. It's like, Andrea, okay, get up and do something today. But I enjoy my quiet time, you know. Um, Self care looks like me spending time with my family, which I wasn't able to in the beginning of my nursing career because I was working and fighting to go to school and while having a family. And so either they watched themselves or their dad watched them all the time. So I was always the one doing more than
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
husband, because I had to take care of him too, like where's Andre, so it's always everything fell on me all the time. So I didn't get a chance to spend time with my kids. I if I could have done things differently, that's one thing I regret is that I did not was not at home more, because I was always saying yes, always working doubles for the job, and then my husband wanted the restaurant, so I had to work both places, and so I wasn't able to be that close to my daughters and then my son. So now I can spend time with my grandbabies, and so I'm enjoying that tremendously, being able to do what I couldn't do
Mm-hmm.
all the time with my children. So
Yeah. 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 I have one last question, Andrea.
yes.
And I've been collecting these words. If you could tell me in one word what you think of as the most essential quality of a nurse, what would that word be?
For me, would be advocacy.
Advocacy.
Yes, that's yeah. That
Yeah.
I love that part of nursing because if you're my patient, I got you. I got you. I fight for my patients, and I mean that's what it should be, and that's what the healthcare asylum is. We're advocates because a lot of times, especially in these facilities, you can't say what you want to say because either nothing's going to be done or you can leave if you don't like it. I mean, nobody takes your opinion serious, So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad I'm done with that, because we as nurses have so much to give to these places, you know, innovations, just everything. Like even it could be even staffing. Okay, let's put this person here that somebody always has something to say thinking they know better and they don't. Us nurses are pretty much the glue. We do everything, but get nothing from the
Yeah.
higher
Yeah.
up at all.
Or even as I've always said, if anything happens on a unit anywhere,
Mhm.
the first thing that is said is either where's it a nurse or ask the nurse. It may not even have anything to do with
Right,
nurses.
it is, and that's so funny. My daughter says, she's like, "Ma, why didn't you tell me that everything that happens on the floor, they're gonna come get me?"
It's your
Yeah, I said they will. That's your job, kid. I mean, the only
yeah,
thing that's gonna change a little bit with depending on because she's at a nursing home. I mean, you'll be an RN, you'll be in the office, but they'll still come find you anyways. But that's it. Yeah,
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Maintenance. everything.
Your for some reason your job seems to encompass everybody else's job.
It
Your
does.
job description is encompasses everybody else's job somehow. But
It
anyway.
does. It really does. And you have to watch the staff, you have to, while you're passing meds, you have to make sure, well, I haven't seen Ann in like 10 minutes. Where's she at? So everything's like up in here while you're working. You have to keep everything in your head about where is everybody.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah,
it's a big
yeah.
job, but it's also very rewarding when you go into these places and you see the patients smile back at you and it's, I don't know, seeing another human being
That's about exactly.
and being happy and happy to see you, and that you couldn't ask for anything better than
Yeah,
that.
yeah. When you connect on a human to human level, it surpasses everything.
It does.
It surpasses everything. Andrea, thank you so, so much for this conversation. I truly appreciate it. I enjoy having this conversation with
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Any last words you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I'd like for anybody to watch our platform, the Healthcare Asylum, and to like, share, and subscribe so we can get our numbers up to, get seen and have our platform.
Okay. And that information, I will make sure that we get
Okay.
that information in the description box of this video,
Okay.
as we put it out. So Andrea, thank you so, so
Thank
much.
you so much. It's nice to meet you.
And you too. My pleasure.